start looking down this list of people like Ken Beck, Alistair Coburn, who you just mentioned, Warren Cunningham, Martin Fowler, Jim Highsmith. Anybody recognize these names? You can put your hand up, Mary, because I know you do. But
Recognize them.
they recognize a bunch of them. And a lot of people always go, oh yeah, Dave Thomas, one of the McKinsey brothers. A different guy. The thing I want to emphasize in all of this is that this is a real who's who. This is a real who's who of the IT group at the time, 2001. This would be, for those hockey fans out there, this is like seeing, Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby, Wayne Gretzky all signing on to a particular approach or a particular style of play. So this is big stuff. They all had their own approaches, which I think is really important to note. Alistair Coburn, the father of Crystal, for instance, right? A different implementation of Agile than Scrum, which is what we're talking about, right? Ken Schwaber, the father of Scrum, Ken Beck, test-driven development guy, right? They all had different approaches, but they could agree on these 4 value statements. These things generally come down to some simple things. If we value these 4 things, and behind this there's 12 principles, then that will inform the way we do an awful lot of stuff. So in this particular case, when these guys all got together, they said, even though we think we might carve up IT projects in different ways, we can agree on these 4 statements in the backing 12 principles. And that is to say, we're going to break this up and suggest that the stuff on the left we value more than the things on the right. That is not to suggest that things on the right have no value. They do, they're very important, but the stuff on the left we value more. So we value individuals and interactions over processes and tools. You have all the great tools you want, but if people aren't talking to each other, we're missing something, right? It's more valuable. Have you ever caught yourself sending an email to the person in the next queue? Because that's a dysfunction, right? Why don't you just get up and talk to them? We value working software over comprehensive documentation. How many times have you seen on large-scale projects huge documents that represent either requirements or design or something? They're all... Who's reading this? Would you not agree that the primary measurement of success would be the working software, not the tomes of paperwork that wind up getting produced, right? Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. John said this very well. Large requirements documents are contracts. And as long as we continue to see them that way and to consider the customer as someone that we're holding at arm's length and dealing with on a contractual basis, we're missing out. And what we really want to do is have that collaboration. I'm not suggesting contracts don't have a place. Of course they do. And I'm not suggesting that documented requirements don't have a place. Of course they do. Things like decision logs and stuff like that are very valuable. But really, where the magic happens is when we sit shoulder to shoulder with someone who's going to wind up consuming the system. I'm sure Nick would agree with this. And they're able to guide us through what it is we're building as we're building. And responding to change over following a plan. Plans are necessary. Planning is indispensable. It was Eisenhower that said, planning is indispensable, plans are useless. But if you think about it, do you know how many times they rescheduled D-Day? Like dozens of times. But it still happened. The idea here is to respond to the change. Imagine, if we just blindly always just said, well, the plan said I have to do this, and so we go do it. It just doesn't make any sense, right? The bridge is blown out, we all just all roll off the end of the cliff, right? So the idea is to respond to change, but we don't frequently do that. These two here, particularly, fold in on each other, right? The whole idea is, well, you said it's supposed to work this way in that 800-page requirements document, and I know you didn't really know what you were saying because you couldn't articulate it, you didn't really know what you wanted, but it's right here in black and white, and that's what we're going to build. And well, you want to change? Well, it's not in the plan, because the plan is to deliver what you asked for. So what we're going to do is we're going to constrain your change. We'll put in a change management system, and maybe you'll get it the next release or the release after or something. Or maybe you'll never get it.